Welcome. 3D games. Probably not the first thing you associate with the Game Boy Advance. However, I was having a rummage through my little box of games the other day trying to find something fun to play, and it dawned on me, I've actually got quite a lot of 3D games on the Game Boy Advance. Yet, I don't even associate it with them. So I thought I'd make this little video to show you just how powerful this console was capable of being, and showcase from my own collection some of my favourite 3D Game Boy Advance games, including my favourite Game Boy Advance game ever. None of them are mega expensive. You could find your next Game Boy Advance purchase here, or you might just be impressed with what they could pull off. I'm going to use the DS Lite, as I always do when showing off Game Boy Advance games, because the backlit screen always helps. Right, let's go to the table. First up we have Iridian 3D. So as you can see, this is a shmup. And it looks absolutely stunning. I'm not very good at shmups, especially when I'm trying to play them at an awkward angle to get the best footage. But just look how good this gets. Now, I did check online a little bit about all of these games, because I'm only going to be able to show you the first bits of the level, of course. And this has many levels which just look better and better. But if you see here how the ship's flying through, to say I'm impressed would be a humongous understatement. Just look. I know it's repetitive, but a lot of shoot 'em ups are, especially this sort of era, so I don't personally think that that's in any way a negative towards the game. And like I say, each level's different, but graphically, I cannot tell you how impressed I am. Buttons wise, it is as simple as can be really. You shoot, move, and then when you get some power-ups, you can activate those with the B button. I haven't got in it in a minute to show you. As you go through, there's nothing about this that feels two-dimensional at all. I'm quickly running out of lives, and I'm not going to be able to get to level 2, I don't think, to show you that. But as I say, each one looks different. They all look equally impressive as well. As a first 3D Game Boy Advance game, I think this is a good choice. Let me know what you think. On to the next one. Now we have Star X. Now this looks to me very much like a Star Fox game. Okay, so I can speed up. I've never played this one, as you can tell. I think I picked it up in a bundle from memory. Okay, we can brake, we can go to the side. But again, as far as graphics go, yes, it's a little bit more, dare I say, PlayStation 1 era, with all the polygons. But bearing in mind when the Game Boy Advance came out, this would have been very impressive at the time. Don't forget, this was way before the Switch, when handheld games were either their own thing or a very different version of their own console ports. Let's see, we'll speed up a little bit here. Right, let's see if we can go through a hole. Nope, crashed. Perhaps not as impressive as Iridian 3D, but I've got to say, I don't feel in any way like this is a bad game. It certainly looks pretty good. It's another forward-going shoot 'em up. Got nothing wrong with that. On rails. I didn't actually realise at the time when I picked this it was so similar to the first game, but I suppose it's good to do them by category. Might continue that with the rest of the video. But yeah, well, what do you think? It just reminds me of Star Fox. Complete different change of pace now with silent scope. Now this is a very expensive game. So this is not a genuine copy, it is a replica, which is a very nice way of saying snide. that I got from a certain Chinese website where I buy a lot of stuff from. Keep making videos about it, AliExpress. But you still get the full game on it, and I just wanted to experience it and play it, quite honestly, because I do like the Silent Scope series on the PlayStation 2. And I have played this one quite a little bit, actually. It's not perfect, but let's show it you. So here we are. It is very much, you've got your scope, shoot people. So that looks like a baddie there. Okay, you hold back to move the cursor so you can see the little dots. Not easy to see on this little screen, but it's still quite satisfying to kill. We're on a timer as well, I can see. I am in arcade mode, so I'm not sure if the other modes have the timer. Oh, and you get a little time boost each time you fire as well. Ah, helpful little arrow. Let's get him. Oh, I've been shot at. Right, just for that. Yeah, you know where I've shot him. Won't do that to me again, will he? In the leg. Oh, that must have been a very lucky leg shot to have been fatal. I mean, it does feel like I'm looking down, or now I'm looking up, it's changed. I do feel like I'm looking at a 3D environment. I think it's quite clever as well, the way how the cursor changes. They really are just tiny little dots until you go into proper scope mode, which is how it's supposed to be, don't get me wrong. Headshot. For an attempt at 3D, especially with a sniper game, this is actually quite an ambitious affair if you think about it. Quite impressive. I definitely feel like I'm in a 3D environment. I don't feel like it's... Oh, I ran out of bullets. I got more bullets. Yay! Have it! I like the fact it changes environments quickly as well, so it doesn't become boring. Oh, look, you can see him moving along here. In 3 dimensions. Yeah. Silent Scope. Not bad at all on that one. Obviously linked play wouldn't work, so I do think you've just got the arcade mode, which I was on, and then the shooting range. I would suggest, because this is an expensive game, probably one to emulate or get a snide copy for £6 from China. I wouldn't pay the full price for it unless you're a real collector and you want to get it in your collection. Some racing games, and we're going to begin with The Simpsons Road Rage. A game so similar to Crazy Taxi, it sparked a lawsuit. I really appreciate the music from things like the Game Boy Advance and the Game Boy Color. Reminds me of the 16-bit era of Mega Drive and things. Let's go Road Rage. Obviously I'm going to choose Homer. Here we go. So we all know the game, it's Crazy Taxi. Go and stop. Got the map in the corner. And look at this. Oh, even a little jump. Well, I definitely don't feel like I'm in 2D. I feel like I'm driving in beautiful, wonderful 3D. Look, I'm even smashing people out of the way. Seem to have got stuck a little bit. Have I just glitched on the first go? I found my way back now. This looks absolutely brilliant. The streets are quite empty, but you have to allow for some limitations of hardware. I know I've not actually picked any fares up or anything yet. I just wanted to show you the game itself, and I just clicked on the first option on the menu. But look at that! Just for a quick nosy, a quick browse, The Simpsons Road Rage might not be an absolutely brilliant game, but looks-wise, for a Game Boy Advance game, I'm impressed. Now we've got a double pack. Do you remember these? I got a Crash Bandicoot one somewhere. They did them with Spyro as well. So you've got GT3 Advance and MotoGP. I'm not going to make you look at both of them, but let's check one of them out, see how a supposed proper racing game looks. Let's go GT3. Motorbikes are cool. I'm more of a car guy, mainly because I've got no natural balance. So I've literally just selected just every first option that came up. So I think this is meant to be a quick or an arcade race. I'm in a Toyota Corolla. Doesn't look bad. If I'd have been a bit quicker off the start, it would have been nice to see some other cars. But look, there's one. Bit of a skid. It doesn't look bad. It's a little bit bland, if I'm perfectly honest. But is it a 3D Game Boy Advance game? Absolutely it is. I don't know what else to say about it, really. It's definitely 3D. I wouldn't say it's anything particularly special from an appearance-wise, other than it is 3D. But I do like these racing games, and I could see myself, especially back in the day when other options weren't around, because this was the most powerful handheld when it was launched, having a go at this. I remember I had a Formula 1 game on the Game Boy Color, and I played that to death when I had it, when it was the current gen, so to speak. Look at it, some power sliding around. There's plenty of the other cars are there. I've got the mini-map as well in real time. Oh, I've spun out, so you can do that. I gave you a good chance to see the size of the car, actually. As far as racing games go, I don't think that's bad at all. And the customisation options were quite good. You had plenty of cars to choose from, and you could even change the colour if you wanted. Definitely 3D. It's only a cheap game as well. You can get this for £3 or £4, cart only. And of course, how can you have a racing game on a Nintendo console and not play Mario Kart? And Super Circuit here is, in my opinion, the greatest Mario Kart of all time. I'll keep this section fairly short because I'm sure that this game you've all seen, probably even all played plenty of times. But how could I not include it? It's Mario Kart Super Circuit. If you've not got a Game Boy Advance at the minute, but you've got the Switch Online, it's on there, or at least it was last time I checked. I let my Switch Online run out, actually. And yeah, sit and play it on the Switch, even on a bigger screen, which wasn't necessarily intended for. Still, the most fun you can have in a Mario Kart game. There's nothing better. Obviously, I'm not doing great here because I want an awkward angle and I can make a million other excuses up. Perhaps I'm just not very good at games. But just look at this. It looks fantastic. For the purpose of this video, where we're meant to be looking at 3D games, well, you can't tell me that's not 3D. It's got everything you remember and love from Mario Kart in it as well. All the crazy little weapons, the courses, the characters. The latest Mario Kart looks fantastic that's coming out on the Nintendo Switch 2. But this, to me, will always be the best one we've ever had. Alright, back to something you've probably not seen. Wing Commander Prophecy. I adore this game. I've actually played through it more than once, all the way through. Now, I don't know if any of you have played Wing Commander. It started, I believe, on PC. I know there was a Super Nintendo game out for it. I don't know if it ever came to Sega. My first experience with Wing Commander was on the PlayStation 1, 3 and 4. Were put on the PS1 and they're still good fun. And at the time they were so impressive because rather than being an arcade shooter, it was more simulation. Admittedly sci-fi in space, but still simulation. This has got such a deep story and so many mechanics. As you saw, I've got it cartridge only. All my Game Boy Advance games are cart only. But I have to look up the instruction book online just to find out how to do things. Now, I've only played the PlayStation 1 Wing Commander games 3 and 4, apart from this, obviously. And that told the story all through full motion video. Clearly, you're not going to get that on a Game Boy Advance cartridge. I know they could put cartoons and stuff on them, like short ones, but not have all that in there plus a full game. So it's told this way with photographs and stuff, but it still works. I mean, it's quite standard for a Game Boy Advance game to have written dialogue like this, isn't it? I was really eager to get this because Wing Commander 3 and 4 absolutely blew me away at the time. It was when the original PlayStation was current gen, and the graphics, the story, even the full motion video, because I actually quite liked that, absolutely brilliant, a lot of it. See, look at that there. I know it's only a cutscene, obviously, but it just looks impressive. Now, I can't remember all the controls, and I'm not going to make you sit and wait whilst... Oh, there you go. Look, I've got a missile lock. And another one. Yeah, I'm not going to look up the instruction manual and make you wait. But do you see how that works? I've got a little radar here. To the left of it says my shields, and then to the left of that there's information about my weapons. That little green triangle. Let's see if I can find another one to show you. There's where it's missiling. Didn't work. I can't remember how to make it go faster. It's a combination of buttons. But yeah, you see that little green triangle? That's what you shoot. So your bullets are getting in front of it, because obviously it's away at a distance. That's quite a nice detail to have in a handheld game, if you ask me. Obviously we're in space, so you've got full 360 motion. They're the friendlies who we're protecting. It might not look a lot. If I was to try and sell Wing Commander on you, it would be more on the story. Oh, that's one of my own men dead. Yeah, I'd sell it to you more on the story than I would on the looks of it. But any opportunity to talk about it, it is 3D, as you can see. 3D space shooter. And an RPG all in one. So if you like your sci-fi, Star Trek, Star Wars, etc., consider giving this game a go. Emulation, I ain't got an issue with that. Play it however you want to. Just give it a go. And if you can revisit maybe some of the old PC games, you might find yourself enjoying that too. One of my favourite games, probably doesn't show it off as well as some of the others I've shown you and I'm going to show you, but absolutely awesome. Driver 2 and 3. There's nothing Driver 2 does that Driver 3 doesn't, and Driver 3 does a lot more. This, as I mentioned in the intro, I was going to show you the best looking 3D game on Game Boy Advance. Driver 3 is it. Wait till you see it. You'll be impressed. I know that the home console version of Driver 3 did not get the best reception. Not everybody liked it, and it definitely had its faults. But purely from a graphical achievement standpoint, this one of the best on the GBA. Okay, here we are. It's a full third-person view of an open world. Obviously, it's not huge. It's a Game Boy Advance game. But full 3D third person. And yes, you can get into cars. I do believe you can steal cars as well. Though you are a cop in this. Look at this. The roads aren't packed, but there's plenty of other civilians on there. But it does get more impressive. Let's see if we can steal any other cars, just for the fun of it. Yeah, look, see? Set up yourself to anything you like. I know this one looks exactly the same as the one I got out of, but it's not. Right, let's show you some more of the on foot stuff. What I'll do, I'll stop talking and I'll try and speed this along a bit for you. so you're not sat waiting. But actually, before I do, look, this is the map. Not huge, but it's a full-on open world. Go to at your leisure when you're not in a game. Mission, sorry, when you're not in a mission. No waypoint marker, but we can use the map. Okay, so now we're in the station. I'm sorry for having to keep pausing it and checking the map, by the way, but with no waypoint markers, it was the only way I could be sure I was going in the right direction. Oh look, a gun as big as me. I'll have that. I'm sure there's a way, you know. Oh yeah, look. If you want to send to the camera and go into shooting mode, you just press the R button. On foot, use A to jump. Boom. Right, wants us to go around the corner. Let's stroll. Oh, what's this? Health. Never hurts to be healthy. Right, to strafe, hold down R and fire with the B button. There you go. Biscate. Now what? Do you need shooting? No. Oh, you need shooting. I knew somebody needed shooting. I will say, not probably the best controls in the world, but... Got him. Oh, you do need shooting. Have some bullets. You want shooting too? Oh, let's collect an ammo clip. Stuck here. It does actually control better than I'm making it look. I'm just holding the console at a very strange angle. I want to capture some video for you lovely people. But yeah, look at that. That's a very brief overview. You've got driving, you've got GTA, get in any car you like. And you can get out and shoot people. I know this is only a brief glimpse, but I genuinely think this is one of the best looking Game Boy Advance games you'll come across. Right, I want your car. How do I get in it? There you go. Want a car? Nick a car. It does take some getting used to with the controls, how they handle. Like, you almost have to anticipate and press it almost a second early, but you get used to it ever so quickly. It's nowhere near as difficult as I'm making it look. Right, let's catch him. I know the driver series is now long been deserted and I don't expect it to come back, and it was definitely maligned later in its entries, but purely from an achievement perspective, what they managed to actually get out of the little Game Boy Advance is quite incredible. Full on 3D open world game. Because there is one other type of 3D game we haven't covered yet. Top down. I've left them till last because it's more 2.5D than full 3D. You've got Grand Theft Auto Advance, an exclusive Grand Theft Auto game to the GBA, and a game that plays virtually the same, Payback. Now, as you've probably never seen Payback before, but probably heard of Grand Theft Auto Advance, let me show you a bit of that. Here we are. Can anyone else say GTA clone? You even move the same way. A and B. One is forward, one is backwards. I think B's forward. No, sorry, A's forward. I'm assuming... Oh, look at that, I've got a shotgun. Ooh. Right, let's nick car. I don't like having to press a button to walk forward. That feels very foreign to me. I know we did it back in the day, but it's been a long time. Right, let's go. We've even got a waypoint. If this looks like an old style GTA game to you, that's because it looks exactly like an old style GTA game. Maybe a little bit jankier. And of course we answer phones. Is anybody else getting nostalgic for the original GTA? My favourite was actually the expansion pack, the London one. There's not a great deal more to show you other than what I have. But an open world game on this console, like it was with Driver 3, is just as impressive with this game here. The freedom it affords you really is something to behold. As you can tell, I haven't actually put much time into this particular game. But perhaps I should, because I'm having a good time actually. I want to see if you'll blow up. Yeah, look at that, we can even blow up cars. And that is Payback. The most GTA clone ever. Well, at least on a handheld. Right, let's close that. So, what did we all think? You might have noticed I didn't include any first-person shooters. That's because I've got quite a few, so I'm going to save that for a video that will hopefully be out in the next week or so. Let me know in the comments, because I love to hear from you all, what you thought of the games that are out of my personal collection that look and play in 3D. Were you as impressed with Driver 3 as I was, from a graphical point of view? Nothing else. I appreciate the actual game itself might not be the best, but you can't deny what they pulled off, just from a graphics and aesthetic look. Very impressive. I'm glad I got to show you Wing Commander and talk about that for a little bit. It is probably one of my favourite, if not my favourite, Game Boy Advance game of all time, with Mario Kart being a very close second. I did put a lot of hours into that, and I still do sometimes. Best Mario Kart ever. Also, just a little bit of food for thought, but is the DS Lite the best way to play original Game Boy Advance cartridges on official hardware? I genuinely think it is. A DS Lite you'll find for the same price, if not cheaper, than a Game Boy Advance that's in good condition, and it's got the backlit screen. I know you can emulate and you can mod and everything else, but if you want something that's just out of the packet as it was, this has got to be the best way. And of course you can play DS games too. I know that's a tangent, but I'd be interested to know what you think and if there's any other better methods. I suppose emulation is free, but it's just not the same. Not to me anyway. That's enough. I've waffled long enough. Thank you very much for your time. If you want to do the like and subscribe thing, it's always appreciated. See you soon. Ta-da for now.